Good afternoon, everyone. Chris Berryman here, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. Welcome to another wonderful Wednesday edition. Yes, again, mobile. Yes, I had another little bit less discombobulated day than I did yesterday. So it's a whole lot better than what it was. But the thing about it is, we get ready to have some rain. We're going to have some clouds, but that's not going to damper us in and of itself, because a little rain does us good, keeps us growing, all those kind of stuff. So again, welcome everyone to the Bring Humanity Together live stream. This is one of three open forums under the Bring Humanity Together umbrella, where people can discuss topics related to the workplace and humanity in the workplace in a very positive and constructive way. We want to know what the issues are out there that are facing people today, because it's our goal, our mission, our passion, our purpose, and I dare say our calling here at Bringing Humanity Together, to create environments that people would love, not only in those workplaces, but also in those very communities in and of itself, which we see that truly that we can actually have a great impact with not only employers and owners of companies, but also those very partners, not employees, but those partners in and of itself. So I truly believe in that in and of itself. So it is going to be a great day today. Hello, Barry.
How you doing? All right.
But that is, well, it's a little rainy here in Florida, but that's okay. No worries. Everything's going to be good to go and everything like that. How about you?
Well, I'm currently up at my girlfriend's, Sharon, up in Birmingham, and we're just having a bite. We're just having a bite to eat. I'm gonna take them off of camera and just be listening. Is that okay, Chris?
Yeah, you're good to go on that. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, mate. Because I'm at my girlfriend's. All right, mate.
So we're glad that you're here. So we're glad that you're able to join us, and tell her we are so humbled and honored that you are here and everything like that. So we are live and in living color today on Wonderful Wednesday. So like I said, I'm just so humbled and honored. I really want to bring this to the table. It's kind of two things. So I'm hoping a few more people will start joining here in a little bit. I want to end up not only sharing my story, but also what we talked about yesterday when it comes to leadership, and what does leadership show up to you as how do you know you become a leader and everything like that. So I would really like to dive into that. But for those who have never break out.
Dolly, enough.
What's going to end up happening is going to give people an opportunity to such an extent to where next thing you know, one thing leads to the next, and it really gets people to a place and space that says, hey, maybe I'm not alone in this, and maybe I don't have to feel as bad, because maybe I can really resonate with what other people have gone through and everything like that. So I truly believe not only those stories matter, but those stories will stick to us in one way, shape, matter, and form. And I truly believe in that. So like I said, I've sent out some invites to everyone today. So please, the links into today's post, actually, all you have to do is click what's called Conversation for Humanity, and it has parentheses Wednesday. We will love for you to join us there. And we would love to hear from you today. So, Barry, I want to go to you. Since you're your girlfriends and everything like that, I got to know the story, the backstory, how that happened. How did you and your girlfriend ended up getting together? How did you guys do that? Barry, you on mute?
No, I'm clear. Sorry, it just said mute. Right. Yeah, that was born out of COVID. We were chatting on Facebook in a friendship group for over 40 years of age. And I was just chatting to Sharon, and apparently she liked the cut of my jib, enjoyed the banter. And I said, well, look, this is silly. Keep typing. At least speak to me, and then you can hear my voice for real, and then you can decide whether you actually want to meet me or not. So I did. We did a live video call to one another, and within a week, I went up and saw her, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. And see, sometimes that's what's happened when we just really want to connect with people. We will go to Facebook, or we go to Instagram, or we go to any other social media platform, because I truly believe we're really, Barry, we're destined to connect with people. We want that in everything. We want to belong. We want to have a place and space that really says, you know what, I can be here, and people are with me in this. Because see, it comes to what Kimberly has said many times on this broadcast, that the two things that she asks herself is in alignment, is in an agreement. And when we are wanting to connect with people, maybe we don't have to be in alignment with them to be able to be with them in that place and space, whether it be work or otherwise. Same thing goes in the reverse. We don't necessarily have to be in agreement with people to really be with them in one way, shape, matter, or form. But then again, it is probably the best gift in and of itself is when we have that kind of coup de grace moment in our lives, to where not only are people are in agreement with us, but also are in alignment with us, and we just have that magic in and of itself. So I just really love that opportunity when that presents itself, because see, I truly believe in this, and this is a quote that I've said many times on these broadcasts, that I truly believe it really is going to stick to each and every single one of you today. To embrace others for their differences, for that's what makes you whole. I'll say that again. To embrace others for their differences, for that which makes you whole. I truly believe we can have a true, honest connection with people if we just meet them where they are, take them for who they are, and build that bridge to them and with them in such a way that not only does it work in their world, but also works in ours. And I truly believe the next thing that comes to pass is really the very definition of change, which is that transformation. And that can be there for each and every single one of us in and of itself. And I truly believe in that, because by laying that out there for everybody and everything, I truly believe what's going to end up happening even after that is the next thing you know, people are saying, hey, I got connected with Barry with a Facebook group chat. And next thing you know, now we're dating and everything like that, because you just don't know when those opportunities come in and of itself, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a workplace opportunity, whether it be a collaboration, even in a business model and everything like that. So what's your take on that, Barry?
And Chris, I can put two cherries on the cake of that. Sharon is not only a customer with the company I work for, she is also a partner, and I am her mentor.
And that's a fabulous thing when that even happens too as well.
So it's very bizarre. Oh, yeah. And coming back to alignment, you didn't know what I could bring to the table with our alignment, Chris, when you met me just by a verbal exchange on another LinkedIn opportunity that arose.
Correct.
So
But
it's proof.
go ahead, Barry.
I say those statements are all proof.
Yep, that they are. And like I said, I'm just so humbled and honored that you're a part of what we're building here at Bringing Humanity Together. And your girlfriend, I would love to have a great and engaging conversation with you, with her too as well. So thank you for allowing Barry to be with you, with us today, and we greatly appreciate that. So let's get right into it because it's now 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. There will be some more people coming to the call here very shortly. So let me share my story with everybody today. And again, I just really want to touch to you in this kind of dynamic. I truly believe, like I said, stories matter and those stories can stick. But I truly believe also, too, as well, that the next currency of humanity is going to be rooted in value and not money. Because that value is going to be so significant and so amazing when people know that not only are valued, but they are heard. They have been seen and shown how much they actually are worth. Because a lot of times, when money we give them really doesn't do the trick, they actually end up saying to themselves, "Am I really worth X, X, and X?" And see, to me, it comes right back to this dynamic that we probably have heard for eons: is we can't put a price on life. Absolutely, 110%, we can't put a price on life. But I truly believe, and a lot of us here Bring Humanity Together believe, that we can't even put a price on someone's work, someone's worth, someone's value. We can't even still remotely come close to that. So I truly believe that that value will translate into so much more. And see, to me, money is another form of energy and tool that we use in and of itself. That's all it is, nothing more, nothing less. And I truly believe once we see that for what it can turn us into, and maybe even turn others into, it creates, again, connection that will lead into collaboration, that will lead into community in and of itself. So let me share with you my story of how Bringing Humanity Together got started and a little bit about me on a personal level. Well, I was actually born in the great state of Florida, and I was actually born in the great city of Sanford. And Sanford, if you guys do or do not know, it is literally north of Orlando, and it literally sits on the river that flows north on the North American hemisphere, which is the St. Johns River. And when I was born at 6:33 in the morning on August, my mother couldn't wait, so she was actually taking one of those kind of river cruises kind of thing or whatever, and the boat literally had to stop on one of the banks of the St. Johns River, and she couldn't hold me no more, and I ended up being born on the banks of the St. Johns River. Of course, then they took me to the hospital and do all that kind of stuff, that kind of thing. But I can literally say I was actually born on the riverbanks and everything like that. So that was kind of neat, and I couldn't wait because the river cruise thing that they were doing is one of those things that was done. You start out and you go north to Jacksonville, and evidently the cruise wasn't going to start until like 7 o'clock in the morning, and everything like that. But what they ended up doing is they did like a small little drive-through kind of thing with a lot of the guests and that kind of thing. And evidently, before they even pushed off to go out further north than Sanford, they didn't even reach the outskirts of Sanford before they had to pull off and everything like that. So I was born at 6:33 in the morning and everything like that. So I also have 3 things I like to share with you too as well that probably maybe you guys know or do not know about who Chris Berryman is. So I truly believe in this. We ask ourselves each and every single day and each other, it's like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? But does anyone really ask, who are you? And this is who I am. Back in the late 1970s, I was diagnosed because I was in school in kindergarten and second grade. Yeah, it was from kindergarten to second grade. I was diagnosed with three kind of disabilities, so to speak. I was told first that I had a speech impediment far worse than Mel Tillis, and I was never ever going to be able to speak again because my mind was running a mile a minute and everything, and my mouth just couldn't keep up with it. I was just like couldn't speak a lick of English, so to speak, and everything. So after that, I was even diagnosed with a slow learning disability, which they named that SLD, and then I was labeled as an emotionally handicapped and everything like this because my mind kind of goes all in so many different directions, and then I wasn't really good with when it comes to pressure. So when somebody was ganging on me or verbally just jabbing me with verbal words and all that kind of stuff and just really knocking me down, next thing you know,
accelerated autism, Chris. That's on the autistic. That's on the autistic spectrum.
Well, I've never been diagnosed with autism, though. I've never been diagnosed with autism, though. But like I was saying, I was going to that place that.
I understand it. That's okay.
So that's why I was diagnosed with that emotionally handicap because, like I said, I was getting to that point that I literally broke down, shut down, and everything. So that's why I was kind of diagnosed that way. But when I came to an age of discernment, and that was probably a little bit later on, I just really knew something was going to be different about me. And I didn't know what, and I didn't know how or even why, but I just knew it. But see, the first step into that kind of transition, so to speak, is when I met a great psychiatrist that turned into my teacher for special education. Her name was Patty Harville. Her now name is actually Patty Henderson. But she has literally changed my life like you will never know. Because when I was, like I said, in those classrooms with her and also in her office doing those sessions with her, and she was helping me with my speech and everything like that. The one thing that she said to me is she said, Chris, this is what you just have to do is you got to see the words, be the words, and just let the words flow right through you. And then next thing you know, you will be able to speak with so much clarity and so much grace and space. And the next thing you know, people will start to hear you. And still to this day, that has resonated and stuck with me like you will never know. And I have just learned so much from that because when we actually take the time with people to really see who they really are, we can empower them like you will never know. And I'll stop here for a second because we got to welcome in Angelica here. Hello, Angelica.
Hi, how's it going?
I am doing well on Wonderful Wednesday. How about you?
Tippy tappy with the song in my heart.
Are you going to be doing some tap dancing now or what?
I could learn, but yeah. I'll do some disco dancing. Now I've aged.
Now you're going way back now. Disco dancing, that's way back now. Come on.
We're taking it way back.
There you go, way back. Let's go way back. Yeah.
I like your share though about seeing the words and being the words. I've never tried that before. That makes sense.
That's what she said to me in that session, Angelica. She just literally just see it that way. It's just see the words, be the words, and let the words flow right through you. And the next thing you know, those words will come. Because see, with me, my mind was going like a mile a minute. And I don't know if you knew who not Conway Twitty, but he was a country singer. I had him on top, huh?
Willie Nelson?
Not Willie Nelson. he was good with his singing and stuff like that. And it's not Conway Twitty. I'll have to think about it because he actually had a speech impediment that was really bad because his stuttering was so bad. And I had a stuttering problem too as well. But I kind of don't try to compare me to him, but I put myself in the same kind of boat that he was in because see, this is the thing with him. And it will come to me in just a minute. But he ended up singing songs, and you couldn't even tell a difference when he was singing a song from one song to the next. You couldn't tell that he actually had a stuttering problem.
Wow.
It's Mel Tillis. That's who it was.
Okay.
Mel Tillis, one of the greatest country singers of all time. Mel Tillis actually had that stuttering problem, but when he was actually speaking to speak, he just, I mean, you would see that. In fact, his only movie debut that he played in was Cannonball Run, either 1 or 2, and he actually played a part in that. But yet, when he was doing his lines, and he was actually in one of the scenes, he was actually with Tony Danza. He was going to, and they just left it in there. But that's who he was. And
that's Cannonball Run 2.
Yeah, exactly. I knew it was probably Cannonball Run 2, but yeah, that's a classic. But like
that's
I said,
one with the gorilla. They're driving the limousine.
Correct.
Orangutan, sorry, not gorilla, orangutan.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I ended up with that. So, all right. Thank you, Barry. We'll talk at you soon. Thank you so much for being here. But let's get back to the story. And for me,
sorry, guys.
All right.
Ciao.
Thank you, Barry. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry, Angelica.
Yeah.
Get to speak soon sometime. Ciao.
All right. Thank you. All right. So I just knew, like I said, when she said that to me, it was going to be something, and I just didn't know how deep it was going to go, and how it was going to really affect me. But it still, like I said, still to this very day, Angelica, it has really changed my life like you will never know. So fast forward to when I was probably 19, 20 years old. I was getting ready to graduate high school because, in fact, I was actually held back for 2 years for school because I was moving from one city to the next because my father actually worked for Red Lobster for many years. So we moved like everywhere. It was like seemed like almost every other year we were moving somewhere. So I've been everywhere. I've been to Merritt Island, Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida, Cocoa Beach, Florida. I have lived in Tampa. I have lived in Orlando. I have lived in Louisville, Kentucky.
Cocoa Beach. That's where I Dream of Jeannie's at.
That's where that was set, was actually the Cocoa Beach area. That's correct. That is correct.
I'm dating myself again.
That is something. Yep. So, like I said, and all those times that we had to move, that's how I ended up having to get held back from kindergarten and also 3rd grade. So I was actually held back 2 years because of all that. But then, like I said, when I was getting ready to graduate high school, and like I said, that was probably around 1920, I really recognized something. I just said to myself, these things that people have said about me, they are labels. That's all they are. Nothing more, nothing less.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to define me. An emotionally handicapped is not an emotionally handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
Slow learning disability is not a disability. A speech impediment is not a speech impediment. And that's when I had that light bulb moment, Angelica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just knew that I was given gifts. And gifts is a state of being, literally, when you look at it that way. It's a mindset. And I had that at that very early age. Now, mind you, I'm like probably everyone else on this planet that has their ups and downs, their discombobulated days like I had yesterday and everything like that. We always have those days. But, when I really, like I said, took a step back and looked at it, and like I said, when even the doctors and the psychiatrists even told my parents, and even my own parents at one point said, Chris, you're never going to amount to anything. You're never going to do anything. You're not going to be of success, and you may end up turning out just like your mother. And
look at you now. You're doing so great.
Well, I've looked at it this way, Angelica, and we have said this many times on the broadcast. Carla has said it. James has said it. I have said it. I just truly believe life happens for me and not to me. Because if you put yourself in that place and space, that it's always happening to me. I'll always be in that hole. I'm always going to be not good enough, not worthy enough, not whatever that might be. The next thing you know, you always will come right back to that same place. And then what's the very definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting that different result. Everything like that. And I just know that when you just really know that you want something bigger and better for yourself, you will find a way to get it. And like I said, that's when I knew then that I had gifts. And next thing you know, after I graduated high school, my very first job was actually, when I was still working in high school, if you can believe it, was actually McDonald's. And I was working for McDonald's for about 3.5 years. I was a crew trainer for them. Loved it. I still know a lot of that stuff still to this very day. And people go to me and say, well, how do you know all that? It's like, it just stuck with me and everything like that. But then along the way, from working from McDonald's and other Fortune 500 companies throughout the years, and being a trainer, a manager trainee, and things of that nature, and the experience that I have built up over 35 plus years in the work arena, I just really asked myself this very question over 15 years ago. I said, should I be working with people or for people? Because when I work with people, it's completely different than working for. Because I just knew at that time that working for people will help others get what they want, and maybe not necessarily what I want. And I just know that they will help me in one way, shape, matter, or form, but most often than not, they really are not going to really get me to really where I want to go. That's why I truly believe the dynamic is so critical and so pivotal and so significant and even inspirational when you really think about it, that when you really work with others and you invest in them and they invest in you, the best investment is the human investment. And still to this very day, Angelica, we can't even put a price tag on that. And that's when I had that kind of light bulb moment in my head that I just knew I was on to something. And hello, Isabel, how you doing?
Hi, guys.
How things going for you today on Wonderful Wednesday?
Good. I just gave a Reiki session to a friend of mine who was in extreme pain.
Uh-oh. And I have to ask you, and the pain is now gone, right?
It's better.
Well, it's better.
It's definitely better. Yeah.
So it's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction. Yeah. She couldn't walk
at
all. And then after her session, she was able to walk. So, yeah.
Nice.
Better.
Nice. So we're glad that you're here and everything like that. So right now I'm sharing my story with everybody today. And like I said, when I was at that point, and like I said, I just knew working with people is far more significant and far more critical, and like I said, far more inspirational. I knew that there was something there. And then flash forward, when I was a corporate recruiter for a solar company here in Lakeland, and I was asking applicants and potential hires questions like, do you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself? Do you want to leave a living and lasting impact every day and every way? Do you want to help others not only build their field of dreams, but they will in turn help build yours? And a lot of those people I interviewed, they said, no one's ever asked me that. That's kind of unusual and everything like that. But that's when I had that second kind of aha moment. And it was really the first big epiphany moment for me was when I really saw that how that was played out. And then I knew, I was like, hey, I'm onto something here. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know how it's going to be built. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end, but I just know I have to build it. It's just one of those things. It gets into your head to such an extent, it becomes a calling. And that's what it's turned into for me. It's become a calling, a mission. So then fast forward to even still to this very moment in today. And another big epiphany moment for me was when my wife still comes to me to this very day and says things to me like, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being underappreciated. I'm tired of not being heard at work. I'm tired of not being valued. That's when I said, ladies, enough is enough. I know what I've been called to do. I've been called to create a great human-driven community, movement, organization, purpose, mission, call it what you will. I really don't care. I just really know that this is going to bring people together and really not only bring that humanity back into the business world where it can truly reside, but where it can really be inspirational and have those opportunities, again, of connection that will lead to collaboration and probably find a new way to lead and maybe even a new way to be. And I just know that. And I've surrounded myself with some great and amazing people here that really believe in this and really believe in me to not only make this a new business model, but make this a way to where people can have a place and space, not only to be seen and heard, but say, hey, I can be in this place and there's literally nothing I cannot do or achieve by having these great people that can not only empower me, but maybe in some way, shape, or form, I can empower them. And that's when, like I said, the magic starts to happen when you get connected with people and you start collaborating. And then one thing leads into the next. And then next thing you know, it just blows up. It just goes everywhere. So I just truly believe that this is going to be the way forward for a lot of people. And like I said, I just can't thank these people enough for being in my life today. If it wasn't for Isabel and Carla and Kimberly and of course Barry and Dave Reel and Jeffrey Edwards and of course Angelica now and Dallas and Justine Beauregard and I could just go on and on and on. These people have really seen the value into this. They just know that it is a place to be here. So, Angelica, I want to hear from you, and then we'll go to Isabel. What really pops in your mind when I've shared my story with you? What comes to mind for you?
I took a bite from my food.
There you go. You gotta eat.
It's my lunchtime. Well, what resonated with me is that you have felt, how other people feel, because you mentioned, being labeled, right? And I'm sure at one time or another, all of us have had a label put on us. And I think that you can understand people that have gone through that and include them, make them feel like they belong, because they do. All of us do. So that's what resonated with me. I love that you're courageous enough to talk about your personal story too. Thank you for being so authentic, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, of course, Isabel, you probably have heard the story, but we got to hear from you. What kind of resonates with you?
So bringing humanity together, Chris is really bringing in high-level conversations around a variety of topics. And he is very inclusive, and he's saying, this is my platform. This is where we can meet and discuss higher consciousness ideas. at a variety of scales of understanding. And so he has created a very safe place to have different conversations that is not the typical conversations around return on investment or selling or whatnot, but really bringing the heart to humanity, the love of humanity, that we are all the same, that we all want to be heard, we all want to be understood, and creating a space where someone can see what they see and share what they see, so we can all see what we all see, right? Chris has said that over and over and over and over again.
Where does that come from? Conversations of curiosity, does it not?
Yes, yes, Julia did reference that, but you referenced that way before the Julia video.
That is true. That is true.
So, and that's this platform. That's what this platform is about, is having these conversations and just gathering for an hour a day around these conversations.
So let me ask you, Isabel, and then we'll go over to Angelica. What resonates with you with the 5 pillars of bringing humanity together, which is, of course, leadership, human development, health and wellness, family and community? What's that look like and mean to you?
So it just helps the human to realize that higher consciousness can be in all these areas. They are not separate. Your family's not separate from your business. You are a leader within your family. You are a leader within your own life. You are a leader in different varieties of wellness, right? And it's just helping people understand that these pillars are really all one, because you are in all of these pillars. But it just helps you look at something in a frequency of color, of a band of color. So one day we're playing in the color of red, the other day we're playing in the color of green, the other day we're playing in the color of blue, but all the rainbows of the colors makes the white light, because we are all those pillars. We are all those colors. And that's it. I don't know. I think Chris froze. So, the different pillars.
Chris, you are frozen, sir. Come back, warm up.
I'm here. I'm here. So, Angelica, what does the 5 pillars look like and mean to you, ma'am?
Oh, Angelica, you're muted. No, you're still muted. There you go.
I'm a preschooler in here, so I only know 3. And it's apropos because I do work with preschoolers, but it sounds like you mentioned wellness and family, and what was the other one? Leadership,
community. Mm-hmm.
Oh, community. And that's really interesting, because that's what I actually work in with. We teach our families to be engaged in their children's education. So many times families are so busy with work that they just kind of let the teachers do everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we find that when the parents are engaged with their children's education, the children, they excel so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I see that we have Daniel here watching today. Thank you so much, Daniel. Click that link in the comment section, and that'll be Conversation for Humanity on Wednesday. We would love for you to be here. It's been a while since we talked last, but I'm glad that you're here. But yeah, when we discussed the 5 pillars many weeks ago, and I've said this to Isabel many times, I just believe everything's interconnected to everything else. It's all there. But do we actually allow ourselves and even allow others to really see how that really interconnectedness can really show up to the mass? And again, I won't point to no further than what's happened in the past week or so. One of our great new team members, and that's here at Bring Humanity Together, who's going to help us with their website, she ended up getting a paid client just because one of our community members and team members needed a website done. And next thing you know, bing, bang, boom, there you go. So that's the power of what this group and movement and I truly believe this community can turn into. And it can be not only a great business model, but it also can be a place to where people can have these, again, conversations of curiosity to really, again, meet people where they are. And you just don't know what comes out of that. And again, I will go to that great Sir Richard Branson quote when he says, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure how to do it, say yes and learn how to do it later. So let me ask you this, Angelica. Do you believe that not only stories matter, but stories can stick to people and might give them a way forward to say, hey, I don't have to be alone here. I can actually reach out to Isabel or Angelica or to Bob or Susie or Jody or whoever that might be and say, hey, I'd like to know more. How did you cope with it? And I can that be there for people?
I think stories are huge because that's how you remember something. When you just say something without a story, it's not going to stick. I remember the story about a person that got off the path in Palm Springs. And because of that, I'm not going to go through the story right now, but but it was very insightful because it talked about all the things that happened to him because he was not prepared, one. And he went off the wrong path. And it just so the moral of the story is you need to stick on a path when you're in an area that you don't know. And it's good to be with mentors that are going to help you, right? But the whole story, with that story, it sticks in your mind because you could just say, yeah, don't just follow instructions and do this so that you could get to this. Everybody will say that. But if you add a little story in there and talk about this experience of a guy who didn't do that, actually, it was really sad. It ended up costing his life. But you remember the story because you start putting yourself in that place and you start experiencing what that person is experiencing when you tell that story. So, yeah. That's my spiel about the story.
And I would like to know more. And I know we'll probably talk offline about that because I would love, and also, Angelica, I would love for you to come share your story on Conversations for Humanity too as well. Looking forward to that. But Isabel, let me ask you, can that be there for people that where it can create that opportunity not only to be better connected to people, but I think that yet again, it can lead into collaboration. It can lead into community. Can that be there as well?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the community here is already growing in connections, and Kimberly and I have, spoke offline because you connected us. So absolutely, a community is building right now before your eyes, Chris.
So, when it comes to, like I said, that community. And I got to ask this of you, Isabel, and I'll go ask it to Angelica here in just a second. And we got James here and just joining us. Hello, James. How you doing?
Hey, James.
Hey, how you doing? How we all doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
Yeah, sorry I jumped on late. I was on the road and the police are out in full force, and we know how having mobile devices are on the road and driving, right?
That is true.
Yeah. We don't want a ticket.
No. But we're glad that you're here, James. Thank you so much. But like I say, when it comes to that kind of community dynamic, and like I said, we'll get James' take here in a second. But when it comes to community, Isabel and Angelica, what does community really mean and look like to you, whether to be in the workplace or otherwise? How's that show up to you, Isabel?
So community is connection, right? Community is combining multipliers, forces, connection, more love, When you think of a community, you think of love, right? When, you know, when you're not part of the community, you feel isolated and alone,
Oh my
and that life is hard, right? So being part of community is wired in us to be in the frequency of love, to enjoy each other. And it is beautiful to be part of a community and feel that friendship and bond with your sisters and brothers on this world.
Oh.
And why not? And so if you're not part of a community, that's okay. But why? Why are you not part of a community? What are you trying to protect yourself? Do you not trust? Do you not want to be vulnerable? What is the story you're telling yourself that you're not part of a community? Are you already part of a community, but you didn't define it that way?
Yeah.
Even a community with your animal, your pet, is a community. It is your own unique community.
Yep.
And so we are all part of communities. So when you broaden your perspective around communities and say we are part of humanity community, well, then that means if you are born biologically as a human, you are part of that community.
Yep.
And so we all belong.
Yep.
We are all earthlings. We are all human.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Angelica, what does community look like and mean to you?
Community, what it means to me is, you know, when you see a friend that you really like and they come over, your eyes just light up, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing? So good to see you!" And you are excited to get together because you have that good feeling. You know that they really care, and you just feel that bond because you're like minded. Um, that's how I feel community is. Community is thinking about how can I help my friend. You see something, and you're like, oh, this can help my friend with this. Let me tell her about it. Let me share it. And you just think about supporting the other person. And I just remember what Isabel said about Kimberly. I went into one of her rooms the other day. The other day. She's probably thinking this person's stalking me now. No. But I'm thinking that's what support is, right? Because if you go
Yes,
into
I'm sure she was thrilled. She was thrilled that you came into her room, right? You
I
know,
yeah,
it's
I hope so. I think so. I can't wait to hear more about James. James, are you from the East Coast? Because I used to oh, he's gone.
oh,
Because I lived in New York for a while. I lived in New York for a while and I detected a New York accent. That's why I
yeah.
said, "How you doing?"
No, he's actually from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
yes.
close by, but it's not the same.
You
So, but
know,
that's what community is welcoming everybody from everywhere and learning where they're from and learning about their culture and accepting the culture and just loving people. So
100%.
yeah, so I'm gonna give it back to Mr. Chris.
So, James, what does community look like and mean to you? And thank you so much, Angelica, for sharing that. So, how does that show up to you, James?
Community starts with one, one dream, one goal, one purpose, one passion, one love, and, you know, sometimes we fall off the wagon and we forget where we stand. But the truth of the reality is community starts with knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, then how the hell do you expect other people to know who you are, who they are? You know, and on top of that, community is all about growing together. growing as one. And I'm going to refer to this great Netherlands saying that I've learned many times over before. And for those that haven't heard it, it goes, Dein Hart, mein Hart, ein Hart. What that translates out to be is your heart, my heart, one heart. And I actually learned this saying from a Mohawk storyteller named Kenneth Littlehawk. And so I carry that very near and dear to my heart as part of community.
That is well said, and you said that many times on these programs as well, and that is so true. My heart and your heart is one heart, absolutely. But James, I gotta throw this to you too as well, because I know you just got on. Uh, we were just talking about the 5 pillars of bringing humanity together, which is leadership, human development, health and wellness, family and community. What does the 5 pillars look like and mean to you?
Well, first of all, the 5 pillars starts with us recognizing that we are all part of the same foundation. We are all part of the pillar of the huge picture, you know. And the picture, you know, okay, look at it this way. Every person has a different brushstroke to bring to the table. There is no set brushstroke that is the same, you know, but it's our ability to see the canvas, and that is the individual. And when we look at the people, the 5 pillars, which is community, humanity, trust, love, and companionship. Okay, that's what that looks like to me. You know, so everyone might have a different version of what the 5 pillars means. So there's no right or wrong way that has to be dictated of what the 5 pillars are. It all means something different to somebody else. So that's where I stand with that.
Well, James, but don't you agree that maybe even though they may have a different take on it, it can still come back around and still be interconnected and maybe even be one and the same?
Yes, very much so.
Very good, very good. I love that. And like I said, I'm so humbled and honored that you're a part of this great and growing community and team and movement that is bringing humanity together. You've added so much value over the time that you've been here with us, and you just keep on bringing it on and on again, especially when you have multiple cups of coffee. So you're a coffee connoisseur. You know how that goes.
You
So
just tell me what you want, and I will tell you where to get it.
there you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. So Isabel, I go to you. Do you truly see that dynamic that where personal development and professional development really does become that human development, and we're so focused on here at bringing humanity together? You believe that can really be achieved as well?
I do. In fact, not only do I believe it can be achieved, I believe that that is where humanity is heading. See, as we raise our awareness of there are more things in play, you understand that you are a soul, and then you start to feel that you are a soul, and you start to feel that there is the divine aspect, that there are non-physical entities, that there are more things in play. And initially, you are not aware of that. You may have been told that you are a soul, or you may have been told that there is a God or a higher source. But as you seek curiosity, you understand there are levels of consciousness. And then maybe you start to meditate. Maybe you start to journal. Maybe you start to see the synchronicities. Maybe you start to explore within yourself. Maybe you start and have a hypnosis session. Maybe you start doing inner work. And then when you realize that you are the creator of your world, that you are not the victim of the world, that you created your experience, you may not understand why you created it, but that is the journey. And when you seek and you dive deeper into your soul field, as we ascend to higher consciousness, vibration, and thoughts, and you understand that you are attracting your thoughts, that you are not your thoughts, that you are not your emotions, that shifts. So when you're at work, is it personal development? Well, how could it not be? Because you created your job for your soul exploration. The lower mind might say that you're in that job for the paycheck. But in higher truth, you are perfectly where you are. And so personal development, the higher consciousness of that is soul expansion and clarity and understanding. So seek.
Yes. Yes. Be curious enough to even seek out that. I love that. Yes. Yes. Love it. So I'll go to you, Angelica. What does human development look like and mean to you? And what did you think about Isabel's share there?
I think human development looks very understanding, especially when I took a bite out of my food and you guys understand. But I also think, yeah, we could create our own work. I kind of did that with the job that I'm at right now, because I started off as a parent engagement aide, and I love film and photography. So now I do film and video for the children and the families. I interview them and I do like short documentaries. And I'm going to start a podcast. Well, I already have my own podcast on the side, but I'm going to start one with the kids.
I love that. I think that's great
You're
because
awesome, Angelica.
that's
You're
awesome.
Thank you. You guys are too.
And just wait, we'll post that on the Bringing Humanity Together website, and I can see the title of that podcast for the kids. Curiosity with the kids.
Well, we'll see. I have to see what they what they'll say at the job, because they're the ones that are leading this all. They don't know it yet, but I'm going to surprise it with them. I'm going to start.
That is amazing.
I'm just going to do it with the kids, and then because I think you could talk about it, and but I think when they see it, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we need to do this,"
Now I'm going to go way back yet again, Angelica, because we were talking about the disco dancing earlier in the show, but I even was thinking about this while you were talking about doing a podcast with kids. Remember the old show that Bill Cosby hosted about kids say the darndest things?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be kind of neat if you had your own unique take on that?
Yeah, they're so cute. They do say the funniest things. The other day I stepped out of the car really fast because I was in a rush to get to the playground and start filming the kids. And sometimes I'll have my heels on and take them off and have my flat shoes. So I had to so I went inside I went to the playground, and one of the kids looks at me and she goes, "Why do you have two different types of shoes on?" And I looked at my, and they were flat shoes, both of them, right? And I started cracking up, and I said, "You are very observant. Thank you for letting me know that, so I could go change." But I think I could have been really stressed out about it, but I want to teach children we make mistakes, and you could laugh about your mistakes, right?
That we can. A mistake is not a bad thing, and what comes up to me when you just shared that, Angelica, I will go no further than, of course, Star Wars yet again. When Master Yoda says in The Last Jedi to Luke Skywalker, he says, "Failure is the best teacher," and it absolutely is. And failure, again, is not a bad thing. It's literally a great thing. And when we embrace that failure, again, we can not only become something much bigger than what we see ourselves, even in that present moment, but we can see that without that failure, what's going to happen? There will be no success. So they're interconnected. So they're there. So I'll go to you, James. What does that human development kind of dynamic look like and mean to you?
Well, human dynamic or the human approach is basically, at least this is just my take on it. It starts with us realizing that no matter how many times you get knocked around, no matter how many times you get shoved around, pushed down, beaten, broken, punched in the face, and all that other good jazz, you still have the ability to get the freak up. You still have the ability to stand on your own 2 feet and to make your own decisions, you know? And in the words of Michael Ray, be the reason somebody smiles today, you know? And I'm a firm believer in doing the right thing for other people because I want the right thing done to myself, you know? And this next quote is very powerful. It's from my grandfather. And he said, do the right thing for others, and others are going to do the right thing for you. And that is something that I have taken to heart and lived by to this very day. And that I
Well,
think is the definition of human development right there.
I love that, James. That is so well said and so spot on, and that can be there for a lot of people. It really can. I truly see that. I really do. So let's get into our final thoughts for today. And I know Daniel was here today, and like I said, Daniel, we definitely will got to talk. It's been a while. He's been a great friend of mine, and yes, he is definitely looking forward to it. So can't wait to speak with him and probably even get him involved because, like I said, he is just great people. So I'll go to you, Isabel. What's your final thoughts in today's discussion?
Well, I hope this conversation inspired you and made you feel welcome and want to be part of this community and join the conversation here at Bringing Humanity Together. That's it.
Very good. Thank you so much, Isabel. I greatly appreciate it. Over to you, Angelica. What's your final thoughts in today's great and engaging conversation?
Well, I think my final thoughts, coming, just sharing what I think about what you mentioned was, people can sometimes create labels for us, but we don't have to listen to those labels. We could get them and tear them up in pieces and put them in the trash can. I like what Isabel mentioned too, that we can make our own reality of what we want to do in life, whatever job we're focusing on. And I think that James is like the poet of the group. He brought some
That
really
he is. That he is.
brought some deep thinking and some deep quotes. I think we got to get him to write a book now.
I'm actually a poet, Angelica.
I knew it. That is awesome. So I'm around wonderful talented people, and I just want to say I appreciate being a part of this group. That's my
Well,
final.
we're so humbled and honored that you are here with us again today, and now one of our newest members to the Bringing Humanity Together family. We're so humbled and honored by that. So, James, what is your final thoughts for today in our great and engaging conversation?
Well, I'm going to leave you with this to stew upon. It's this quote, "Seja você." And what that means is be yourself. You know, don't try to be someone else. Don't try to pretend to be something else. Be you. Just be you. That's all there is to it. Because when you resonate with other people, when you call out the ego mind and the inner child, and you tell them, hey, I'm running the show. I'm running the show here. You know, you're putting your foot down and saying, I'm being me. I'm not being anybody else. I don't care what anybody says. You know? And if people don't like who you are, too bad. That's their problem. That's not yours. You know, and having been a custodian, you know, I've learned that the thicker the skin, the more detail you put to attention. And to quote that saying from Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man, the thicker the horn, the stiffer the bull, the bigger the stiffer the horn, the bigger the bull.
Well said. Well said. Thank you, James. I greatly appreciate you. So, Isabel, should we kind of give some people some inside baseball on something that may be upcoming for us here at Bringing Humanity Together? Should we kind of give them a little tease, so to speak?
Yes. So on May 4th, we are hosting On Purpose for Purpose, another Zoom call with the group here from Bringing Humanity on really a focused subject on finding your purpose. What is a purpose? How do you know if you have a purpose? How does that feel? And so we will be engaging with our audience to discuss your purpose and what does that look like and feel like to you. So join us on May 4th on Bringing Humanity Together. We will be posting the link and Zoom call and recording it, and you can always watch it back if you cannot participate.
Yes, and that's going to be a great one because, see, our first ever event that we had here at Bringing Humanity Together about conversations of curiosity, it went so well. So I highly encourage you guys to be a part of that. If you'd like to know more, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or to Isabel or Angelica or Carla or Jody or Kimberly, and we will let you know how to get involved with that and everything like that. And again, if you want to know more about Bringing Humanity Together, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us too as well, because we're building this out. It's going to be of great opportunity and great conversations, again, that will lead into connection, that will lead into collaboration, that will lead into community. And that's what's going to be there. And my final thoughts in today's great and engaging conversation is just simply this. Not only do the stories matter, but those stories can stick. And then once you hear that story, share it with the world. Be that person that not only lift those other people up, but also give them a they were meant to be to as well. So I love the opportunity and the things that we're going to be doing here at Bringing Humanity Together. So again, from all of us here at Bringing Humanity Together, have a great day. Make your day. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, James. And thank you, Barry. And thank you to our great and growing team. And we'll see each other tomorrow on Humanity Happy Hour. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk to you soon, Angelica. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.